Good afternoon, everybody. I am sitting here on the deck of Iganyana Camp together with the owners of Iganyana and founders, Terry and Sheona Anders. Guys, we've been staying with you for the last few days, myself and my family, and we've had an incredible time. You guys bring a new meaning to service. You really do. You've looked after us so well. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been our joy to have you here. It's been
Please,
awesome.
do you guys mind telling us a little bit about how you founded this camp? I mean, you've been going now for, is it about 2.5 years with Iganyana?
About that?
Yeah, we always started, we built our business on mobile camps, doing mobile safaris, because we like that private, sort of exclusive type safari, but mobiles are quite niche, close to nature, and we figured we needed to have a bit of an anchor, and so we waited for a while and looked hard, and eventually came across this prime location, which has basically been gifted into our laps. Really, it just came about that way. We never dreamed it would be possible, or we saw the site and thought that would be the perfect spot, but never believed it could actually happen. And things really fell into place for us. A series of circumstances that led to this, and incredibly blessed to have.
I think it was meant to be.
It was meant to be, absolutely meant to be.
Absolutely, guys. Now you talk about this prime location, and we're looking out on some beautiful camel thorn acacias and the famous Dete Vlei.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you manage to get this? This must be so sought after.
Yeah, no, it's a miracle. It really is a miracle.
Terry's been working in this area for part of a decade, and we've built good relationships on the ground. Our local supporting villages and rural areas, you've had a lot to do
with the chief, and
particularly our chief.
They
have Terry's had them as sort of family for many years. We've gotten involved, and so we've kind of been operating here long before the camp was built, and I think that helped us enable to get the camp going when the time was right. It was good. Yeah.
Well, kudos to you guys for doing that. Now,
thank you very much.
we can forgive people for thinking that this is not 2021 in the midst of a pandemic. What occupancy are we at today?
Today we're on 75%, but last night we were at 100%.
Wow, amazing. And I think you've been operating at those sort of percentages for the better part of a year, or even more than a year now.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And so tell us, most of these people are local Zimbabweans?
Yes.
What's been your strategy? Because so many camps have closed down. You guys have stayed open and you've been so successful.
I think it's been a matter of going out to fetch the market and just to be proactive with it. Sheona's exceptional with the social media, keeping people aware of what we're doing, what's going on here.
Yeah.
And then a lot of it has built, sort of from word of mouth. I think that personal effect that we have here, people that they really feel like they're at home here, and when they come, they seem to leave very happy, and all of a sudden more guests arrive, and I think we found the right rate for the local market.
Can I add to that? Because I think that's a real thank you to Zimbabwe for us that we opened our doors in good faith that the local market would support us, and not knowing the local market really well. We're very new, and we understand more how much Zimbabweans want to travel. This is a Zimbabwean heritage. If you're born here, you should have rights to see it. And it was a hard calling for Terry and myself to open our doors and stay open as a place of respite during a tough time, because we know what it's like to be in a tough time.
Yeah, it absolutely takes two to tango though, guys. Yes. And I've realized we've been here for 3 nights now, and the commitment to service from yourselves, being personally involved in the camp, but also from all your team, has been incredible. Nothing has been too much trouble, and you've gone out of your way to make, I've watched you, you've gone out of your way to make everybody here feel welcome. And so I think, that's testament to your strategy, and that is what keeps people coming back. So well done. I think you've hit a great niche with the riding community, both locally and internationally. Have you seen a lot of people locally have been coming in for the riding specifically?
Absolutely. It is a niche market. I think we quite, this camp has been a lot about location and very easily accessible. We're 2 kilometers from the airport, Hwange airport, and that also has been a benefit for the riding, made it very accessible.
So we are now on the top of the teak forest, literally, and possibly the finest vantage point of the Dete Vlei, right here at Iganyana Wild.
Yep.
Soon to be opened, 25th of May.
25th of May, Africa Day. The whole idea was just to try and make people feel secluded and just try to blend in with nature, try not to cut or remove any trees whatsoever. There are obviously a couple that we had to, but we really tried not to interfere in any way and just blend in, and we want people to feel completely exclusive and intimate. I think is the right word. That a feeling that you said you had. And just be a part of nature. This camp is for exclusive groups, and a lot will be for the riding, for the horseback safaris, riding groups, but not exclusively to that. It's, there's also walking safaris and family groups, but anyone from 2 to 12 people, and it's just for complete privacy and people be able to do their own thing if they want to. It has, as you can see, it has its own dining room, own kitchen area, and the kitchen nice and close so that you can, folks can go in and out of the kitchen if they want to themselves, and if they want to do their own cooking, want to bring their own chef. It can be a very flexible camp, but very, very close to nature and in amongst it. So aptly named, I think.
And what I love about this top deck is that you've got a west view, you've got an east view, you've got an amazing view of the stars at night, and I think there's potential for some yoga, Pilates sessions up here.
Perfect.
And you know what? You never know. Maybe people might even sleep up here under the stars.
I think
Now and then you might allow this.
Yeah,
It's a must.
It's a
Absolute must.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, just to finish off, Terry, you're a professional guide, and you're a lover of wildlife in Zimbabwe. And having a full camp of people contributes significantly to conservation, because every time you have someone who's paying in camp, they're contributing in some shape or form to conservation. Now, we've been through a tough period, which I'm sure you'll expand on, but if you could leave us with a few thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's become very obvious to us that how important it is to keep camps operating, and how important that presence is on concessions, and just the ability to have people in the areas, have anti-poaching teams and scouts, because without that presence, the areas become very vulnerable, and the lack of tourism has played a huge role in just over this COVID time over the last year and a half, and we've noticed that we to the point where we've unfortunately lost some 2 of our dominant male lions, which have had a major effect on our area, and so it's become extremely critical that we keep tourism going. At one stage when last year we had the first lockdown, we thought, well, do we close the doors and just try and hold on until things get better? But it became very obvious, and that very quickly that we noticed things looked vulnerable. The areas were just without having that presence, we noticed signs of poaching. We heard gunshots, and but as soon as we started having guests coming back in, it made a massive difference just by having that presence. I think it's very, very important.
Yeah, so it's a combination of presence, revenue coming in,
Absolutely,
and supporting the communities that obviously, it's tough for them as well, living along the edge of a wildlife area.
Yeah.
And if they feel that they get value from the animals through tourism,
we
then
employ a lot of our staff from our local communities, and that obviously makes sense. And with the folks having a job and having food, it's that's basic necessities of life.
Yeah, and I think just to end off, one of the things I've seen here at camp, and having so many youngsters, and particularly our 2, 7 and 8 years of age, they absolutely love the bush, and they're growing up here in Zimbabwe, like most of the kids that are in the camp at the moment. And you, as a professional guide, so good with kids, and just explaining to them so many details about nature and for them to gather that appreciation. And I think that's so important that they get that from a young age.
No, absolutely. We have focused on families. We have 4 boys ourselves, so we understand children very well, it is extremely important that is where it starts. Conservation starts is with the children, and it's fantastic to see kids coming out here and soaking it up. And not looking for their iPads and looking for TV screens, but rather just enjoying the bush and getting back into the sand, back to nature, back to basics.
Well, to both of you, thank you again for having us as we look out over this expansive wilderness, which deserves to be protected for forever, for the future generations, and massive value in that. If you like this episode and don't want to miss out on other ones, please go to YouTube, look for Luke Brown Zim, and hit the subscribe button. Thanks.